governor the other day. When I say chat, is it chatting when one of them's streaming and you're in the chat, but you are still talking? Anyway, he was asking me for like camera recommendations because he knows that I spent a stupid amount of money on having a nice camera for my stream. He was sort of saying how he finds it hard to justify investing in that kind of stuff, like lighting or cameras, when he knows that spending the money will result in a better performance. Jesus. Which I totally get. I think like nowadays it's becoming like increasingly hard to know what is actually a worthwhile investment, and you know there's so much tech porn online that it's just like what is actually worth it and what's just hype. What is just hype? Could I get vanilla donut and a filter coffee, please? Anyway, I'm far too close. I thought I would share some things that I was maybe hesitant on buying sooner, and that I probably should have just, you know, pulled the trigger on. Starting with this donut. For real though, this camera was probably one of the most hesitant purchases. Well, maybe not this camera, but the first camera I bought, the first nice camera I bought. Upgrading from an A6000 to the A7 III. Numbers, no one knows that. People that don't know cameras, it's kind of going from a 200, 300 pound camera to a $2,000 camera. It essentially meant going from an image like this to an image like this, which is quite an improvement, really. But honestly, that's not the most important thing that I found, or the most exciting thing about upgrading to a nicer camera was the quality. It was kind of upping the skill gap, or the skill ceiling of my potential of what I could do with what I had. This camera is great. You can get a lot done with it. You can learn a lot from using this little boy, and I did. But then upgrading to the beefy boy, I've got two of them now. I didn't realize how much fun I would have learning all the new technical stuff like color grading, shooting in log basically, and it's basically just upping what I could do. And I think there is something to be said about the fact that I opted, when I wanted a second camera, to get basically the same camera again. I mean, this one is actually cheaper than this one. It's a more compact version. So I want people to know that I'm not overly into all the nerdy tech stuff. I really do enjoy sort of trying to get the most out of what I have. The other thing that I use basically every day that I remember being so unsure about buying was this bag. This bag that I use pretty much any day I go out. As someone that previously just used cheap rucksacks to carry everything about, to buy like a 200 pound bag seemed so stupid. But my God, the difference it made, not only to my back, not only to like my actual back and being able to carry stuff, but like, I don't know, the confidence of being able to put stuff in a bag and not worry about it breaking. It's so dumb. I should have just got it so much sooner. Sort of, especially when I was working at Yogs. I remember I would go on these live action shoots, and it'd be just me and some audio gear, 2 cameras, and that was basically it. But having to carry all that, and the fact that I managed to carry all that and not a proper rucksack was stupid. I really should have just got a proper bag sooner. I'm not sure I talked about it at the time when I got this bag, But the one little feature I liked about it was on that note of carrying all the audio stuff, was I used this little secret side pocket. This is like a quick access for camera stuff. That's what you're meant to use it for. Quick grab your camera. What I used it for is I mashed in like the audio stuff into here. So this was like my audio bag, and I could quickly access and monitor audio stuff in the bag and leave it in there, not have to take it out. And it was nice and safe and secure. And then do all the camera stuff anyway. What's this video about? I've lost the train of thought. Right, this next thing isn't something I bought, but it is something that I would replace in a heartbeat if it broke. And it's my Loupedeck. It's my big old boy, my big old Loupedeck. The Loupedeck is probably the most exciting piece of tech I have discovered this year, and I wish I'd known about them sooner. It's incredible. Just look at this thing. Look how premium this thing is as well. Look at this. Ignore the dust. But yeah, this thing has changed the way I work. For streaming and editing, I can edit without it, but the muscle memory has already kicked in for editing with this thing. So much, in fact, that I have a second one that Loupedeck sent me, which I keep as my on-the-go carry Loupedeck. This one is my stay at home. This one is my on-the-go. I've talked a lot about what I use my Loupedeck for in streams. I've made a whole video about the Loupedeck and why it's pretty pog, but I wanted to show you this thing I set up recently, which is all right. So this is my current streamer setup. So if I press this dot button, it switches to my game check scene. We'll swap over to just display capture. So we'll toggle off that one. See, toggle off the game capture. And we'll toggle on the display capture. See? That's pretty fun. But this is my new favorite thing. On these arrows, left and right. Look at this. This is my new favorite thing I've done. And also, because I use an ultra wide display, right? I use an ultra wide. I've added in these arrows, these forward and backward arrows. Zoom in and zoom out on the display capture, which is dumb and fun. Now the one sort of downside to the Loupedeck, especially the Loupedeck CT, is it's a little bit pricey. So I'm incredibly grateful that they've sent me all these for free. But now they've sent me another one. But this is their newest. This is the Loupedeck Live S. And it's a little entry-level one, and it's very cute. Look at it. Look at it. It's a 2-dial boy. So it's got the two knob and dials. Where's the sun going? Jesus. But it's a good little entry-level Loupedeck. So we got a whole family here now. Look at this. What I forgot to mention earlier is that the software, the Loupedeck software, isn't limited at all, depending on which version you get. If you get the Live S or the CT, it's all the same software. It can do exactly the same stuff. So I'm currently learning DaVinci Resolve. I'm trying to get better at color grading, and it's got stuff for that. It's got stuff for that. I go into the color grading mode, and where the dials come in, twist these knobs and make adjustments like this, rather than using a trackpad or a mouse, and this is so much more precise. It's so much more accurate. Anyway, that looks terrible. Let's reset that. But yeah, that's the thing this year I think has been the most impactful to the way I work in streaming and editing is the Loupedeck. And I just wish I knew about them sooner, man. But there's one more little thing, which may be even better than a Loupedeck. Blasphemy, I know. But this has made such a huge impact on just my overall mood when working at my desk. And it's just a little infuser thing. It smells nice. This is like I think this one's honey and sandalwood. I think that's what it's meant to smell like. Like sawdusty kind of smell. It's like a sweet sawdust.